Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Wario Land 2 for the Game Boy, as well as the Super Game Boy and the Game Boy Color. This was, I believe, one of the first games to have its own Game Boy Color version, to have more colors on the Game Boy Color. And this is also the sequel to Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, which was one of the earliest games that I played for the internet. And I really need to replay the first Wario Land because I didn't get all the exits. Perhaps that will happen one day. But here we are after the events of Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. We don't have our own planet like we did back when I ended it myself, but we do have a castle. At least, well, Wario does. And these weird-looking guys with what look like spears. They have somehow made our way into our castle. They have stolen our treasure. They have turned on this giant faucet in order to flood the basement or something. I'm pretty sure they're trying to flood the castle. And there goes all the water. And we also have this weird alarm clock. And this weird alarm clock is now making noises. And Wario can't sleep. Yes, we get to play as Wario again, because this is his game after all. And from here, we can go ahead and start a new game. You can only have one saved game. And, well, I don't have a saved game, so let's go ahead and make a saved game by pressing start and going through all of this again, now with different music and with sounds. So, this game came out at a rather interesting point in my life, 1998. Things were changing a little bit. PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 were in full swing. Sega Saturn was still a thing, but it wasn't doing too well. Matter of fact, some of the last games for that system would pop up that year, including Burning Rangers. And during that time, we had a little thing called the Game Boy Color, which came out, which was the coolest way to play Game Boy games until the Game Boy Advance came out. And especially the backlit variations of that, including the Game Boy Advance SP. And this game, while it did come out on the original monochrome Game Boy, it did get its own Game Boy Color version with more colors if you were to play this on Game Boy Color. However, you could still play this game on Super Game Boy if you had a Super Game Boy cartridge and a Super Nintendo. And I'm playing it Super Game Boy style, if you couldn't already tell. But yeah, Game Boy Color, really awesome thing. I did manage to get one. I had one as a kid. It was pretty cool. Anyway, Chapter 1, One Noisy Morning. And the first story, turn off the alarm clock. Now if you press A, you'll immediately wake Wario up. You do want to do this. You can actually stay asleep. You can just do nothing and let Wario get back to sleep, but that takes us through another story entirely. And I want to play through this one first. So we can move around with left and right. A jumps. Holding A, or rather holding up, makes Wario brace himself for something. If you press A while holding up, you can do a higher jump. Down lets you duck. Down left and down right lets you crawl. B lets you tackle. And pressing down while in midair lets you do a butt stomp, which allows us to get in here. We do have a coin count in the lower right hand corner, and we need as many coins as we can get our hands on. So we're going to beat up enemies such as the Spear Goon to make sure we get coins. Make sure you don't run into the spear, otherwise you'll just lose coins. Yeah, that's it. You can't die in this game like you could in the original Wario Land. Instead, you just lose a few coins at worst, or you get powers. Just by being attacked by certain enemies, you can get powers, and we'll definitely see more of that as we go through the game. And it was a rather really original concept, being burned to death and then turning into Fire Wario, or being touched by a zombie and turning into Zombie Wario, just to name a few of them. And it was a big deal, because getting hit by enemies was especially critical to getting through the game. Anyway, we're tackling through walls to find hidden nooks in our house here to find coins. And we're going to need all the coins that we can get our hands on, which is going to help us with stuff. Definitely tackling jars, tackling enemies, breaking walls. There's some coins there. If we had a spear goon in our hand and we threw it into those blocks, we could effectively break them. There's something new that you can do in this game compared to other games. Also, if you tackle this wall, you'll find even more coins here in the upper left-hand part of this room. That's easy to miss. That reminds me, I forgot to talk about how to enter doors. I'll show off how to do it in the next one. It's really simple. Actually, just go up to a door and press up when you're in front of it, and you'll enter the door. That's it. That's all there is to opening, or not exactly opening, but rather entering doors. And I forgot to show off the other thing too, but I'll show it off eventually. And yeah, make sure you jump into the walls here where you break into the little crannies where you can find coins, so that way you can easily find some other coins that you could easily miss too. So if you jump on an enemy, you can stun them, and then you can walk into them to throw them, or rather to pick them up, and then you can press B to throw them. But if you hold B, you can throw them forward, and if you're holding up while holding B, you can throw them straight up, which is rather interesting. I mean, that'll allow you to throw things straight up if you really need to. Make an opening somewhere to find things and what have you. Anyway, I want to go through this door, so as mentioned earlier, get in front of a door, press up, and you'll enter it. Don't get crushed by that. Make sure that he doesn't grab you. He will cause you to lose a few coins, but if that first bat does squash you, you'll be flat. And while you're flat, you can float. And I'll show more of that off in one of the later levels. For now, let's go into this chimney, and hey, big Wario coins worth 10 coins each. I want to make sure I grab these. I need all the coins I can get. And do not touch me. Now I'm going to have to get those coins back, but thankfully the enemies around here do respawn, so I can easily do just that. Some enemies will not carry coins, others will. The spear goons definitely will, and I'll be able to get my coins back that way. Now we need to go through this door to continue on with what we're doing. We have a little wood heater here. If we tackle it, we can move it to the left or to the right, depending on which direction we're facing. Let's go ahead and tackle him so that way we can get his coin and get everything over here. And then we can get what's over here. Now there's a dresser blocking this little doorway, and inside is a spear goon. Let's take care of him. And then let's enter this opening to find a mini game. Now you can press A to play, you can press B to skip this altogether, or you can press start to get help. We're going to check out the help. So we get to select this panel speed to start. There's hard, normal, and easy. Hard is worth 50, normal is worth 100, easy is worth 200. And the easier the difficulty, the easier it is to play this game. So we pick our difficulty, we spend our coins, and when the key appears, 8 panels will rotate. So the game gives us a picture, and we need to pick which panel out of the 8 below has the same thing as what the game gave us. Match the panel to the key to win the treasure. If you do it right, you get what's inside the treasure chest. If not, you can play again, but you'll have to spend more coins. And there's the treasure. So let's go ahead and press A to play this time. And I'm going to set it on normal, because it'll give me at least a little bit more time compared to hard. But I'll have to spend double the amount of coins I would spend on hard. If you're able to play this on hard, if you're able to spot something like almost as soon as it shows up on your screen, by all means pick hard, go for it. I'm just going to stick to normal because I do not have the best luck with hard. So, we're picking normal. The game's going to give us an icon. We need to pay attention and figure out where this thing is. And it's down there in the lower left. Now, if you're on the center tiles, the glove does move around. You're better off using the darkened color of the tile to see which one you have highlighted. Anyway, I know where this is. Let's pick this. And those are the other 7. They represent other enemies which you see in the game. And we now have our treasure, which is this Viking helmet. And there we go. We now have our treasure. Now, if you press select, you can see the treasures that you have. There's our Viking helmet there, all the way in the upper left. We can just look at them, but that's about it. Let's go ahead and press B to get out of there. And this option, below the treasure, I'll explain this later, but it is important. Press B to get out of that. And from here we can save our game, we can continue our game, and we can see the amount of coins we picked up for this level, as well as throughout the entire game. Both of these are important. Anyway, let's go ahead and get rid of the Spear Goon. And if you press start, you can see your current and total cumulative coin counts on the lower right-hand corner of the screen as well. And not much else around here, amazingly. I'm amazed by that. And if we go through here, we can break these walls for even more coins. And I want to get my hands on that. I couldn't. Ugh. And that over there will take us to the end. That door with the Wario face above it. And I thought maybe I'd be able to get something good out of there. Out of that wall to the right, but sadly I didn't. If you see a wall with inverted colors, grab it. It's worth 100 coins. And you get a nice little sound cue when one pops up too, so if that happens, pay attention to what you're doing and make sure you grab that coin with the funny colors, because it will give you a lot of coins, and you'll need as many of those as you can get. Anyway, some more coins in here. Not too much, but still worth it. Still worth going in here. Let's make sure we get rid of him and him. And let's go through here. Is there anything down below? I doubt there is. I don't think there is. Let's just go through here. Now here we have little guys with football helmets who will punch forward as they move around. But if we do a butt bounce and hit the floor, we can cause them to stop and then turn around. So if we need them out of their way, we can do that. And we might as well go ahead and enter this little area here to get 50 more coins. Once again, the big Wario coins are worth 10 coins each. And they're worth picking up. Definitely worth picking up. And I need to get over here. That way I can break that. And let's also break them. And if you hear that music, that you've reached your goal and you need to take care of what's over there. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get myself a couple more coins. Now that I'm still at this. Let's go ahead and get a few more coins here. Everything will be a little better if we do it this way. And I think I can get some more coins over here as well. I can go ahead and take care of the helmet guys. You always want to make sure you tackle them from behind, so that way you can easily take care of them and easily get their coin if you need it. Alright. That makes things a little better for us. And I might as well go ahead and talk about the alarm clock. Just tackle the alarm clock, you'll destroy it. If you knock it out of the air, if you manage to get it in the air, it'll be upside down, and then you can more easily tackle it. But you can easily tackle it either way. And that's how you turn off the alarm clock. And whenever you get clear stage, your stage coins get transferred over to your total coin total. And of course you get to see the treasure that you found if you found it. Let's go ahead and press A and let's show off this game. And let's go ahead and do the tutorial for this as well. So we have 10 numbers between 0 and 9, and we have to turn panels to reveal parts of the number. Each panel we turn will cost 50 coins, so it costs 50 coins to turn a panel. There are 9 panels in all, so it costs us 450 for the whole shebang. And I want to make sure that I can spend as little as possible to identify the number, which will be displayed kind of like how it's displayed on the digital display of a clock or something, for instance. And if you need to draw again, if you need to turn another tile, just press A. Just remember that every tile you turn will always cost 50 coins. And it may take quite a few coins for you to figure out what number you're guessing. Pay attention to the numbers and pay attention to what's on the big panels on the left. If you know what you're doing, you can better guess what numbers you are. You can rule some of the numbers out. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, the more tiles you get, the easier it is to rule some numbers out. Although, attention to detail also can help with that as well. And when you're ready to answer, press B. You have one shot at doing this. If you guess right, you get something cool in the treasure chest to the right. If you mess up, you're going to have to wait until you can play through this game, or rather this stage again, to get another shot at what this treasure chest has. And that was a bit of a lucky guess, if you couldn't already tell. So let's go ahead and try this now. Let's go ahead and press A to play this at last. And we always get one panel free. So, the number here could be 0, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, or 9. So that's 1, 2, 3 numbers rolled out. Can't do much with just the bottom center tile alone, so let's draw again. And this could be a 0, 2, 3, 5, 7. Doesn't rule anything else out, so let's go ahead and try again. Oh boy, the pure center tile is empty. So that could be a 0, Wait a minute. It's 0. Let me check. Yeah, there's nothing else like it down there at the bottom, so let's go ahead and answer 0. I lucked out right there. I thought I'd be turning around a lot of tiles. But nope, we lucked out and we now have 352 total coins left. And when we open that treasure chest, when we guess the number right and open that treasure chest, we get this. It looks like it could be part of a map. Just a little fraction of a map, but a fraction of a map nonetheless. We'll definitely have to play this game several more times in order to see what we're dealing with here. But we do want to collect these things. And whenever you complete a stage, you get to save your game automatically. Make sure you wait until the game tells you that the save is complete before you turn it off. And Chapter 1, One Noisy Morning, Story 2. Turn off the giant faucet. And we are now in the basement of our castle. And we need to turn that faucet off if we want to deflood our basement. But that will have to wait until the next video. So join me next time where we turn off the giant faucet. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!